Good morning. My name is Tammy, and I'd like to thank you for, or welcome you to Tammy's Stitches. Greetings from Maine, everybody. This is my tiny little corner of Berwick, Maine, where I come to you weekly to discuss cross stitch and whatever else I might or might not get my hands onto. This is FlossTube 128, and today is February 6th, 2026. Happy Friday, everybody. If you are new here, thank you so much for pressing play. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you like what you see, and if you do, you like, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things. For all my regular subscribers, thank you so much for coming back week after week. I really appreciate it. I really do. This week I got quite a bit of things accomplished. So let's get started, shall we? I don't have any FFOs, I don't have any finishes, but I'm hoping for at least one next week. So we'll see. Okay. Now, okay, we're just going to start pulling from the back. So the first one here, I worked on this yesterday, and this is Four Seasons Spring by Soda Stitch Designs. I am doing this for my FlossTube friends. I have 6 of them, and one of them is Laura Stitching by the Shore. So Laura records weekly, so this comes out every week for 200 stitches. And I got it pretty good. This was a rather quick 200, a lot more quicker than I thought it would be. I started this on July 12th, 2025. I'm stitching it on an 18 count. Picture this plus jade, Ada, and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal for this is 2,500, and out of 5,837 stitches, I have completed 930, and I'm at 15.93%. And here we are. I finished the pinwheels. I got some more of the little birdhouse in. I got the word spring. And this will get worked on next week because Laura will be recording today. And I usually watch her on Saturday mornings. So, that is my FlossTube friends. Not my only one, but one of them. Okay, next one is, okay. This was a start, and it was one that I started a while ago, and I didn't even get 200 stitches on it. It was on a fabric that I really didn't want to do it on. I like 25 count on the occasion, but you know, when I'm really trying to get into something, I'll put it on 20 count. Because number one, I can see it better with the magnification I have, and I think the stitches look nicer when I'm doing it 20 count 1/1. They're not sliding or disappearing or anything like that, like they do with the 25 count. They seem to be more uniform to me. So this is the Cute and Colorful Owl, and it is by Puck's Closet on Etsy. And here he is. There's a lot of block stitching in this, which is what I like. I can deal with confetti to a point, and then I'm done with it. So, I started this on February 4th, 2026. I'm stitching it on a 20 count easy guide, Eaton, and I'm using the Color for Floss. My goal is 5,000. Out of 90,000 stitches, I've completed 300 and I am at 0.33%. Here we are. Just a bunch of green. So I am trying something, doing this block stitching. Shouldn't be too many mistakes on this one because there's a lot of block stitching. So yeah, I worked on these two, got this 300 stitches in. So the next time I pick this up, I'll get another 300, and then I'm going to move and go over 5 more blocks and get the top row done. And then I'm gonna, or maybe I'll do 2 sets of 5, which it'll make it 15. So that'll be a good section. And then I'll just go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or 3 or whatever. 300 seems to be the magic number for this one. I don't know if it'll stay that way. We can hope so. And so right now I'm just using 368. And I think I'm keeping this one out to get another 600 into it. Okay, next one I worked on, and this one is going to take quite a while. It's a small one though. This is Bad Hair Day, charted by Heavan. Artist is Elisa Victoria. And I could probably buy this again and put it on my pattern keeper, but you know what? It might not be there anymore. I don't know. I'm not gonna look it up. So, but this is cute little fairy with very bad hair. I don't know how many I got done. I know I got over 100. This is Bad Hair Day by Heaven and Earth. I started this on February 4th, 2026. I'm stitching on a 25 count easy guide 1/1. And I'm using the Call for DMC. My goal is 5,000. I don't know how many stitches are in this because, like I said, it's a paper pattern. But that's how much I got done. This, pretty much all this 10 by 10 square is complete. I think it's only missing maybe 2 stitches. And then I'm moving over to this one. So, I think I might, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet, but I might use it as a 100 stitch a day, so if I can get a 100 stitch block completed, I'm going to do that. Okay, so that's Bad Hair Day. The other thing I started this morning, because I printed it out yesterday, because I wanted something cute for Valentine's. So this is the Hair and Bleeding Hearts from Wanderling Stitches. And I started this morning. I'm stitching it on an 18 count cherub from Pictures Plus using the Call for Floss. My goal is to finish it. Here it is. So this whole color here is completed. So far today, I have almost completed 240 stitches. I just have to finish up this heart here and this heart here. And that'll be 240 stitches. And I'm going to move up to these three hearts here, and then these three hearts here. I want to get this finished before Valentine's Day. That is my goal. So, we'll see. Because I love these little hair and... So, there's that. I didn't put it on my list, but I will for next one. Okay. Next thing I worked on was okay, where are you, you handsome little W? There you are. I worked on Dapper Chap, and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. I only got 100 stitches because it looked like I might have made a mistake, and it might be something I can easily fix. Sorry, still suffering from cold after effects. But I did work on him, and I did get in 100 stitches. And it may not look like much, but okay, and here he is. I started him on August 19th. I do believe the artist is Sydney Eaton, and I've been trying to fill in, and I was able to fill in quite a bit. I'm stitching this on 20 count easy guide. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000. There is 25,480. Oh, excuse me. And I've completed 1,100, and I am at 4.32%. My goal is to get the 5,000 in. So this one, I think I'm going to put off to the side for now. Alright, my next one. This is my all-time favorite one. It really is. This is spooky season. And this I got on Etsy from LUKOBKA. Started this on October 9th, 2025. I'm using an 18 count fabric of the month. My goal is 5,000. There's 11,374 stitches to complete it. I've completed 2,200. Oh, excuse me. And I am at 19.34%. And on this one, I completed 300 stitches. And here we are. I finished the darker yellow, and then I put in quite a bit of the lighter. And this is the scarecrow stripe. And then there's a bat and... a bat? yes, there is the bats, which is right here, and then the ghost. As soon as I get the skeleton one finished. I'm not filling in, I might have to fill in the bats before I move on. I don't know. The bats and the moon, I don't know yet. We'll see. But doing the stripes, it's a lot of block. So it's like one color, one color, one color. And I kind of like that. This is, I'm keeping this out and working on it every week. It's kind of a focus of mine. Okay. The next one is the snow hare. Okay. And here it is. This is the snow hare from Wanderling Stitches. I started this on January 10th, 2026. And I'm using an Eaton count. Excuse me. Misty Surf. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal for this is to finish it, and I have completed 532 stitches. So, it's very cute. And I am working on, or I finished, I should say, all the snowflakes that are up here. Now my next step is I want to finish the rabbits, and then I'm going to put the snowflakes that are down this way in. That is my goal. Here are my threads. I think this blue right here is going to show up a little bit better. This is 334. And I've started using my tags again. Because the more full coverages I do with all the changes, it's just easier to put them on tags and save the rest of the shapes. So this is another finish that I want to get done. Okay. Alright, next one is some of these I ought to just print out pictures for, but alright. This is Eloise and the Shadow Bird. Her eyes are amazing. Her eyes are so pretty. So, I only got 140 stitches on this one because I needed a below that I didn't have. So I started this on October 3rd. This is by Zanna Crosswell. And I'm stitching this on a 25 Easy Guide 1/1. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal should actually be 5,000. And I think I'm just going to change that. And out of 122,500 stitches, I have completed 573, and I am at 0.47%. And here's where I am. And I'm not moving on until I fill in all this blue. So I've got to wait for my blue to come in. I think I need 825, 824, something like that, and I didn't have it. So. Alright. Okay. Now, the other day, I was binging some Anne, or the Max Color Stitcher, Anne. So I figured, and I was working on this while I was binging. Hers were only like a half an hour at a time, which is fine. I found a big enough, spot where I could do some, 2 of them stitches. And this is a rather beat up cover photo, but here he is. This is from Miss Peggotty on Etsy. This came with a bundle. And the Cheshire Cat I restarted on the 14th of August, 2025. And, I'm using a 20 count Easy Guide Ada, and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000. There is 23,220 stitches, and I've completed 800. And here we are. And that is at 3.45%. Oh, too dark. This way. There we go. This is just mostly frame. So, I'll be hauling this out again. Okay, and then the other one was Alice and the Flamingo, because Stitchy, she posted an update, or downloaded an update, or recorded an update, I don't know what the word is, on Monday? It's Monday, and so where are you? Right there. So this is Alice and the Flamingo, and she actually messaged me because I posted my project progress on her Facebook page, and she actually got in touch with me, and when I said it reminded me of her Flamingo Fantastico, she's put it in timeout for a little while, which is fine. But I still like it. This is Alice and the Flamingo. I started this on September 12th, 2025. Stitching it on a 20 count Easy Guide Ada. I'm using it called for DMC. My goal is 5,000 stitches. It has 34,344 stitches. I have completed 2,215, and we are at 6.45%. So here we are. I put in 400 stitches on this one. Well, actually, 410. And I like it. I'll be glad when I'm out of the white and this color, but I think maybe right about here in this line here is when the flamingo starts. So that'll be pink. But yeah, so I put these both in the same bag because I work on these ones consistently. So Mad Hatter and the Queen are in a different bag. Okay. Alright. Next one I worked on. Oh, this is a start, but I'm thinking about putting it on a different fabric. I mean, I like this fabric, don't get me wrong, but I think it would look better on something else. It's a little bit too dark. But I found these little autumn stamps. And I want to say that they're from Vibes Nest. Not quite sure. I know in a minute. Okay, where are you? Oh, right there. Yes, they're from Vibes Nest. And they're cute little stamps. I mean, you could do them singly, I suppose. Which I might do, I don't know. But there they are. We have a fox, hedgehog, squirrel, cat, raccoon, and owl. And they're cute. They're not very big. And I put this on a 20 count parchment. So that's why I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on this. But I started this on the 1st, which was Sunday. And I'm putting it on a 20 count parchment. I'm using my call for DMC. My goal is 5,000. There's 17,749 stitches. I have completed 245 and I am at 1.38%. And it's very scattered up top. But so I'm actually thinking about, you know, putting it on something different because I'm not sure I like this fabric for this particular one. I think I need something a little lighter so the colors stand out more. This one there. I also have some winter ones, Christmas ones, Thanksgiving ones. They're by different, you know. Okay, next one is I was thinking about something else I wanted to finish, so I came up with Judge Not. And this is from Plum Street Samplers, as you can see. I really like this one, and I really want to get it done. And it is on my list. So this is Judge Not. I started it on March 31st, 2023. So it's been kicking around for a while. I'd like to get it finished before March 31st, 2026. Yes, I would. I'm using a 16 count country French latte. And I'm using a call for floss. My goal, I reached my 1,000 stitch goal, so my goal now is to finish. And I've completed 1,234 stitches. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm using the called for floss. And what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I filled in this sheep here, and then I moved down to this sheep here. Then I'm going to move over to this sheep and finish it. and then move down to this sheep and finish it. And then I think I have like 4 more after that. Yes. Just 4 more sheep after that. And then I have to finish this one here. And then finish the words. So here is what my little sheep look like. And they're very cute. And the reason I bought this one in the first place was because I used to be a big fan of the bougie stitchers. Am I still a big fan? I haven't watched them in a while. I like Nancy, and she was doing this one, and so because I saw Nancy doing it, I decided to do it. I mean, I like Jenny too, don't get me wrong, but Nancy's kind of, you know, she always seems to be on an even keel. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, maybe it's just because on, you know, on her videos, she's very, and Jenny's kind of up and down, you know, and I don't know. She's a lot more higher strung, I guess, and I'm kind of like this most of the time. I'm like a duck, you know, nice and calm above the water, but below the water my feet are going crazy. I try not to show the craziness down here. I can help it. Maybe sometimes I do. If I do, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to change it up. But, you know. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, so Judge Not had 200 stitches in that, and that is a finish. Fight to finish. Alright. Next one I worked on was, I don't know why I felt it necessary to work on this one, but I felt it necessary because I'm playing this kind of like even it up game with myself. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going through some of my whips on the weekends, and if they're at a weird number, like this one was at 496. I don't know why I did that. I think I got frustrated with it because I ended up frogging out a whole bunch of it. So, I don't like that. I want to keep them like 200, 400, 600, 800, you know. I want it to be even numbers all across the board for all of them. Am I getting that? No. But I'm trying. Alright, where are you? Way up here. So I am trying to keep them as even as humanly possible, if I can help it. Oh, too far. Okay. This is Coffee Abstract, and I really like this one. I think it's cute. I'm not too sure about that blue though. That blue is very, very bright, but I'm thinking it kind of gels with the whole thing. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway. So that's Coffee Abstract by Box and Fox. And I started this one on June 16th, 2025. I'm using an 18 count easy guide. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000. There's 22,350 stitches to complete it, and I have completed 800, and I am at 3.58%. So I did get an even number on this. It took 304 stitches to do that, but I did it. And here we are. So the only thing I had was the pink box all done, and then I had the steam coming out of the cup. So I finished the cup, and I finished the copy that was in the cup, and I think it came out really, really cute. And then I look at the blue when it's like this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I like it. But then I look at the blue in the picture, and I'm like, So, but this will come out again, and I will work on another block. And considering this is a full coverage, and February is full coverage, I may not work on it next week, but sometime during the rest of the month of February. Okay, now if you are on the Stitch Is So Beautiful fabric Facebook page, you probably would have seen these. Because I posted them. And I wanted to even these ones up too. So this is Mabel by Grumpy French, charted by Stitch Is So Beautiful. And this is my idea of a fancy lady. It really is. This is my idea of a fancy lady, and I absolutely love her face. Her face is amazing. And I restarted Mabel on January 15th, 2026, and I put her on a 20 count easy guide Ada. And I'm using the called for floss. Her goal is 5,000. Out of 30,000 stitches, I've completed 800, and I am at 2.67%. And I put in 280 stitches to even her out. And that's quite a bit of confetti. There's not a lot of block stitching where I am right now. But the colors are amazing. They're gorgeous. So that's Mabel. And I'm starting to put some of her colors on a ring with my little floss cards here. And the colors that he's using are like the newer ones, the 30s, 20s. So the purples are just amazing. And I like purple. So I don't think these are going to come out again for a little bit. But eventually I will have to finish their goals. And then the first one, well, not the first one I worked on, but the next one that I worked on was one. Alright, where are you, lady? Okay, there you are. That's Ethel, that's Gertrude. I haven't started either one of those yet. Okay, there's Mabel and Iris. Not the one I'm looking for. Miss Thelma. Oh, there she is. This is Miss Thelma. She's another very fancy lady. She's got that beautiful long neck. She's got her cute little horns. I think I might be actually getting to one of the horns. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, this is Miss Thelma. I started her on the 16th of January, 2026. She's also from Grumpy French, the artist, and charted by Stitchy So Beautiful. I'm stitching her on a 20 count Easy Guide Ada, and I'm using the Call for DMC. My goal is 5,000. There's 30,000 stitches in this, and I have completed 500. And I am at 1.67. And 290 stitches to make it to 500. And here is Miss Thelma. And right here, I think that's part of her horn. I was looking at the mock-up the other day. So here she is. I think I'm going to bring her out again and try to get, even her up to at least 800, maybe 1,000. I don't know, we'll see. Here's Miss Thelma. And I think I'm going to start Miss Eugenia. So at least I have 3 started. Alright. And the last thing, this is what I was working on Friday when I recorded last week, because this was something I did want to even up badly. And find him. Looking for Horatio. Horatio is my Huggable from Randall Spangler. And he's my Huggable dragon. And he's very, very cute. Here it is. Here is Horatio, my little Huggable dragon. Now, Horatio, I started on July 14th, 2025. The artist is Randall Spangler, and it was charted by Heavan. I'm stitching this on a 20 count Easy Guide Ada. My goal is 5,000. Out of 37,440 stitches, I have completed 3,000. Yes, and I am at 8.01%. And I have been filling in and filling in and filling in. Here we are. Right. Now this one is, I'm doing 2 over 2. No, 2 over 1. The dragons, the ladies, I'm doing 1 over 1 on 20 count. Look at that. That jar is coming out amazing. I still have some filling I need to do here. And I'm going to work my way down here and work my way down here. I am filling in. Alright, in order to get to 3,000 and to even it up, I put in 360 stitches. Did. So I think I'm going to keep this one out, and I'm going to work on it until I have the goal completed, because I only have 2,000 stitches left to go, and that should go really quick because there's a lot of block stitching in this one. So, now, the other thing, I have some, this is for plans and goals, but Last week I had missed a couple, so I'll show them today. So I have done. What did I get done this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. If you count that one, 16. So it's actually not bad. But then again, I really didn't do anything else except take the dog for a walk and go to the grocery store, which and go back and forth to school to pick up my daughter from rehearsals. So, plans and goals. Continue on FlossTube Friends. Continue on full coverage. And continue on finishes. Okay. Now, Lee from Stick Strings and Other Things, she posted her newest FlossTube episode. So I am doing Nevermore Sampler. And I did add another 200 stitches to this the last time she posted. She posts every 2 weeks. So the one that she posted, I haven't done the 200 stitches for yet. But, and since I don't have a picture at all, this is where I am. And basically what I did was, I worked on this motif. And I will continue to work on this motif until it's done. So, and then I'll work on the top border. So, this is Nevermore Quaker. It's from Lather Studios. I restarted this on November 19th, 2025. Excuse me. I'm stitching this on a 25 count Stormy Night 1/1. I'm using the called for floss. My goal is 5,000. It's 15,443 stitches, and I've completed 600. So hopefully when you see this next week, it'll be 800. And I am at 3.89%. And then, where is it? The other one that I worked on for the heck of it, just to even up, was Halloween Quaker #3. I really don't have a good picture of this one yet. So, doing this is from Tinsel Cross Stitch. I started this on May 12th, 2025. I'm doing this on a 25 count vintage storm clouds. And I'm just using 3799. My goal is 25,000. Now, there's 10,133 stitches to complete this. I have completed 2,000. And I am at 19.74%. And to even this up, I did 219 stitches, I believe. Because I did it the same time I did the Nevermore Sampler. So I do the Nevermore Sampler, and then I'll do this one. And I've got almost all the bats done in that motif. I need to do one more bat. And then I'm going to move over this way. So, get the bats done and move on to the next. So yeah, so I forgot those. So from now on, whenever you hear that I'm going to do the Nevermore sampler, expect Tinsel Cross Stitches Halloween Quaker 3, number 3. Alright. Now, I'm also working on my letter whips, my letter S whips. Snow Hare, worked on that one, and Spooky Season. I have more S's, but you know what? I like Spooky Season, so it's going to come out every week. I'm going to work on it every week until I get bored with it and decide I don't want to work on it for a while. Alright, and then next thing is I have picked out 4 gnomes to work on. And I think I'm just going to stick with 200 stitches a piece. And since this is the month of Valentine's, February, I'm going to do the rose gnome. I'm going to put 200 stitches in the rose gnome. And I started this one on May 31st, 2025. And this is from Favorite Gnome, or cutebroidery.com. Stitching this on an 18 count cherub Ada. And I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 2,500. There is 5,051 stitches. I have completed 490. And I am at 9.70%. So this is something I would have to round up, so to speak, to even it out. So I'd have to do 210 stitches. I might even do more, I don't know. But here is my rose gnome. And I got her nose in. I started doing some of her hat. Yep. And she looks very pretty on this cherub fabric. So that's one of the gnomes I'm going to work on, or I'd like to work on. And then the other one is one I've only worked on once since I started it. I don't know how that works, but I have no clue how that worked. Okay, mister, where are you? I think. Hold, please. Oh, good Lord. No, it's not. Alright, we're going back down. I know he's here somewhere. Oops. There he is. This is Lucky Gnome, and I have not worked on this one since I started him. And he was the first one I started for my Gnome Frenzy weekend that I did. And he has a card in there somewhere. Here it is. Excuse me. This is Lucky Gnome from Favorite Gnome or cuteembroidery.com. Started this on May 23rd, 2025. I put it on an 18 count fossil Ada from Forbidden Fiber Company's Fabric of the Month. I'm using called for DMC, and my goal is 2,500. There's 5,851, and I've only got 213 stitches in, so this will be another one that gets evened up. And I'm at 3.64% complete. And okay, that's backwards. So right here, and the greens on this I love, and I'm not a big green person, but I love the greens on this one, especially on this fabric. So there's that one. My lucky gnome. Yay! And then the next one I'm working on. This kind of goes with the theme of Valentine's Day. Because of what it is. Here it is. This is a chocolate gnome. Now you understand what I mean. You know, you get flowers and chocolate on Valentine's Day. At least most people do. I don't, but there it is. And I don't even think I could consider asking my husband for flowers. No. So this is a chocolate gnome by Favorite Gnome or Cute Embroidery. I started this on May 25th, 2025. I'm stitching this on an 18 count earthen Ada, and that way. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal for this is, like I've been telling everybody, it's 2,500 stitches. That's as far as I've gotten. And this has 4,612 stitches, and I've completed 400. And I am at 8.67% complete. So, as much as I'd love to get some of these gnomes done this year, I don't think it's going to happen, but we can hope. So there's that one. And then the last one I picked, and the reason I picked this one because it also had flowers on it, and it started with the letter S. So I had to get that in there. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Like I said, the reason I picked this one is because it started with the letter S, and the letter S is the letter for the month of February. So I went through while I was waiting for my counseling appointment to start yesterday, because I do it via telehealth. It's a telehealth appointment. So I can sit here and I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to worry about what I smell like. I don't have to worry about whether I've showered or not. So I can just sit here and do my thing. So I was on here with her, and before she came on, I figured, okay. So I went through my little gnome bucket, and excuse me, I found the ones that I wanted to get done. And here is the skeleton gnome. Because it has roses, and it starts with an S. So there's that one. And I love the fabric that this one's on because I got it myself. So this is a skeleton gnome, and I started this on June 2nd, 2025. I'm stitching this on an 18 count writ dyed Ada that I did myself, and I'm using the call for DMC. And my goal is 2,500. Out of 5,202 stitches, I have completed 450, and I am at 8.65%. And I think I started something else on this, so hopefully I might have to take that up, but that's okay. And here we are. This is where I'm at. So I want to try to finish up the eyes on the skeleton mask, and then the skeleton mask, and then move on to something else. So, I love how this got this big kind of splotch of purple up here, and I think the hat comes either this way or the other way. I'm not quite sure, but I'm hoping some of the hat ends up in here. So there it is. So these are the gnomes that I'm going to work on, and I think I'm going to get, because my other gnomes, so I'm making it for January, basically. So yeah. Is there anything else? Oh, I did buy a couple of things. Basically the only thing I have been buying is fabric and floss, but I did end up buying a couple things. Now, last week I said how I wanted to get a Davy Stewart. Well, I did, but I got a mini. But I didn't get one of the fancy ones, you know, like the ones that everybody else is working on. I kind of got something rather obscure, but I like it. This is the mini Cheshire Cat by Amy Stewart, charted by Hate. And that's what I wanted. And they also have a rabbit. She doesn't have Alice, but she does have a rabbit. And then I ended up getting this gnome. Just Cupid. That might be my Valentine's Day start. I don't know. We'll see. But I thought it was cute. And then I had this one. It's like this Stay Spooky, except there's only 3, and it's Christmas or winter. So, that one I like. And I got this one, it's Morning Praise. It's not the best mock-up, but it's pretty. And I got these cute little winter annals. Same idea, the stamps, just winter. I like the polar bear and his blue scarf. And I like the little white rabbit. And I am, on this one, I think I'm going to try Flosh. B5200 Flosh. And other than that, it's all I really have. My husband and I have a service that we need to go to. I'm really not looking forward to the service, only because it means I have to spend time with my husband's ex-wife and her family, and I really don't want to do that. But I told him I'd go. And then tonight we're going to my daughter's play. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm not too thrilled with her right now. She was very disrespectful this morning, and she's not going to like the consequences for her actions. So, and we'll just leave it at that. Other than that, I don't have anything. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. We're supposed to be more snow tomorrow night, I guess. Yay. But it is what it is. And Sunday it's supposed to be freezing cold. I'm not planning on going anywhere tomorrow, and I don't plan on going anywhere on Sunday, so I'm going to stay where it's warm, and I'll snuggle up in my blanket, and if I snuggle up in my blanket, then Patches will be more than happy to snuggle with me, because she likes laying on blankets and pillows, and we'll take it from there. Like I said, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Have a very productive Stitchy week, I hope. And should you have any questions, you can get in touch with me, either a comment down below or Tammy's Stitches Facebook group, or Tammy.stitches on Instagram, all lowercase letters. I'll put it in the description box below. Other than that, keep on stitching on, y'all. Bye.